Hey man, going from something that I have a pulse on to maybe something you have a pulse on, resident 49er fan.
Mm.
One of those very secret things, those anonymous NFL executives had another anonymous NFL executive quote this week and kind of floated the idea that the Niners should trade Jimmy Garoppolo for Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah,
I'm
see,
not sure if I
this
like it.
is, I'll be honest with you, this is potentially one of the worst stories that I've ever seen ever break. Couple reasons here. First off, Odell is, I've never seen a bigger drop off in talent
Mm-hmm.
than Odell's had in his career so far. He
Mm-hmm.
was so electric with the Giants that he just lost every bit of that explosiveness when he went to the Browns.
Even
I
before the
don't
ACL.
I mean, I get that, but you've seen so many people come back from torn ACLs and have that same
Mm-hmm.
explosiveness. It's like it's part mental, it's part
He was so before the injury, man. And now he's just. I'm lost
it's
on
just
OBJ.
I know he's bad. And so
I
there's
don't
one
think
thing
I've ever
is
really bought into him fully as well.
no, I was never an Odell guy. I think he was. I
He
mean,
was good.
it's the same thing with Saquon. They're really good. They're super talented. They have that allure for a New York market, but they just don't have. They're just the longevity is just so bad with those
Mm-hmm.
guys, and so that's the first point. I think Odell is just not a good receiver anymore. Second off, he doesn't fit at all what the Niners do on offense. They get catch and run guys. They get physical receivers. They don't get prima donnas. Their prima donna that they had, Brandon Ayuk, who's not a prima donna, but is their only guy that kind of fits that mold, got benched in the first year because he
Mm-hmm.
made some comments to Kyle Shanahan about not getting the ball during a practice.
So
So
good.
I guarantee you he's not going to deal with Odell shit. So there's the second miss on that one. Third on is I don't think at this point trading any sort of asset away from the Niners without getting any draft capital back is in the cards
Mm-hmm.
because we already don't have a first round pick next year. We already don't have we already lost our sixth round pick and our seventh round pick. So we have a very small asset already that we're working with. So we're not going to be
Mm-hmm.
trading Jimmy G when we could, probably if Gardner Minshew can get a sixth, then I'm sure Jimmy G around there can get at least some draft capital back. So if you're going to move on
Hey,
from
depending on
Jimmy
who you're selling
Garoppolo,
to, you might even be able to get a second.
yeah, exactly. I mean, Carson Wentz got a freaking first, and we
Come on.
just went over. I mean, he's having a
Is
great year. So
OBJ at this point? So I would say that in most cases, Jimmy G is worth a second round draft pick.
yeah, I agree.
Odell Beckham
100%.
Jr. is not worth a second round draft pick.
No,
He's worth
and he's
that
not worth
in
Jimmy
name
G.
value, but if you actually look at his production, third or below.
Yeah.
I,
And
yeah.
also why would you I don't think the 49ers can even take on that contract right now. I mean, I guess if they lost Jimmy G, they could take on that contract, but why would you want an aging receiver into a run first offense that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't like prima donnas? Like it's just
Doesn't
every part of this story from that random NFL exec is wrong. So I
OBJ
just
is not a Kyle Shanahan guy.
no, not at
No,
all, not even a little bit.
no.
Like I was baffled by that
Mm-hmm.
story reporting, and it was just like Odell. It's just everyone wants to do this. Like, who's a good team that's had injuries at a position? Who's a good player in a bad team in a bad situation that plays that same position? Oh, they should trade for each other. That doesn't how
See,
it's not how it works in the NFL. We don't
no,
trade in the NFL.
I already know what's going on with Jimmy G anyway. I kind of talked about this last week. He's going to be traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers this season for a second round draft pick.
That would be awesome. I think that'd be a perfect fit.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to have a second round pick for Jimmy.
Hey, I don't know if this anonymous executive has a job. I'm in the market. Yeah. Who wants my resume? I'll send send you my resume right now. Insert said team owner / GM into our DMs. I got you.
Do we know if that anonymous NFL executive was Odell Beckham Jr.?
Do we know if that
It
anonymous
could have
NFL
been.
executive was not just a crackhead off the streets of San Francisco?
We don't know that.
We don't know that. But he's anonymous. So he can't that's the cool thing when you're anonymous, you can't catch flack for saying really stupid stuff like this.
Yeah, it's you can't do it.
It's like these anonymous sources. Are they real? Does Adam Schefter just pull stuff from a magic 8 ball? We'll never know.
Never have any way to track it.
It's
They're
unbelievable.
anonymous.
The real conspiracy theory. The real conspiracy theory is Adam Schefter just consults. He has a magic 8-ball with Roger Goodell's face on it. But Roger Goodell with the clown nose version.
Did you just crack the NFL?
I'm going, I need to lock my doors, man. I'm going to see black bands pull outside.
Hopefully this isn't a live stream.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh, boy. If I'm not here for next week, you know why. Hey, Alex, I'll let you have my football stuff, okay?
Oh, boy.
You're going There's a lot of it, too. Oh, man, but that's just stupid. But, ladies and gentlemen, I don't get it, right?
It literally makes no sense. There's absolutely no way this happens. If
I
it does,
know how they got this idea, Alex. They got two hats, right? One with the player, one with the team.
Yeah.
And they just, Odell Beckham Jr. 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo for Odell
what?
Beckham Jr.
Just came out of nowhere. Yeah, no, this isn't. I'm gonna break the story now that the Niners will not be trading Jimmy G for OBJ.
Oh, imagine if they do now.
If they do, Chase Young is also an All-Pro.
If they do, what about the 49ers trade for Odell Beckham Jr. and Chase Young?
3-team trade, and we give up. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna make a statement here on the podcast.
Official statement from Alex Gropp.
If the 49ers trade Jimmy Garoppolo to the Cleveland Browns for Odell Beckham Jr., I will not watch another game of NFL football for 2 years. There's literally no way that happens.
There's no way.